Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show. My name is Graham and welcome to my show, and unfortunately today I have some pretty devastating news. I woke up this morning and I still thought that I held the title as the world's cheapest millionaire. After all, that's what all of these articles are picking up on. Like, look at the millionaire who saves 99% of his income. Look at the millionaire who refuses to spend money on designer coffee. Look at the millionaire who goes out of his way to pick up pennies off the ground. That was me. That's basically now have become my personal brand. But I woke up this morning and I saw that TLC didn't have me in their video. It's titled "The World's Cheapest Millionaire, Extreme Cheapskates," and then I opened it up and it's some lady on there. Who is she? How is she the world's cheapest millionaire? It's a bit disappointing, and I figured what I would do is actually go and watch this video from the perspective of someone who I thought I was the world's cheapest millionaire, but apparently, according to TLC, I am no longer. It is this lady right here. So let's give this video a shot, and maybe she is the world's cheapest millionaire, and here I am in comparison to her, just like splurging, living large. Like, maybe she doesn't even drink coffee. Maybe she doesn't even have a MacBook Pro. Maybe she doesn't even have a dinosaur skull. Like what millionaire doesn't have a dinosaur skull? So anyway, let's give this video a watch and see what's going on. By the way, on an actual 100% serious note, for some reason, almost every single one of my TLC videos gets copyright striked and claim, and I don't really make any money off these videos because they find something in my video to basically say, nope, that's ours, we own the rights to this, even though it's obviously fair use. So if you guys wouldn't mind, at the very least, because most likely I'm not going to really make any money off this video, if you guys wouldn't mind hitting the like button, at least for the YouTube algorithm, at least if I'm not going to make any money off this, and I'm not going to be able to afford more MacBook Pros in the computer from this video, at the very least, if I could have a lot of likes to show for it, may as well just do it. So anyway, with that said, let's get into the video.
I keep my water heater turned off. I need 22 minutes to heat it up enough to get a shower. So I turn it on every morning when I get up.
You know what, that's actually not that bad of an idea. She has an electric water heater, so that's a little bit easier to turn off and turn on. It kind of makes sense in a way. Now, I have a gas water heater. Gas is so cheap that for me to keep that heat, my total gas bill for the entire month is something like anywhere between $8 and $12 a month for my gas bill. So that's so cheap. So even if I turned it off, maybe it would save me a few dollars. For her though, on an electric water heater, I approve of that.
With a personal net worth of $5.3 million, this 50-year-old Las Vegas entrepreneur refuses to throw a single penny down the drain.
See, she's a multi-millionaire. Well, that's how you get multi-millions. You don't get multi-millions by investing and working really hard. No, you get multi-millions by all the small things like that, by being able to turn off your water heater. That's what takes you from $1 million to $2 million, like that.
While we were married, Amy learned how to turn off the circuit breakers to save on power. Boy, how many times I would wake up and forget that the water heater was off, jump in that cold shower, talk about shrinkage. Oh.
How do they go and get the ex-husband done here? I want to know more about their relationship and why now they're exes. And maybe if that had something to do with the water or the shrinkage.
And although she can't afford a more comfortable lifestyle, she saves more than $200,000 annually by refusing to buy anything new.
Wow, but here's the thing, to be able to save $200,000 annually, she's got to have an absurd income. She's got to be making a lot of money to be able to save that. And also, it's no wonder she lives in Nevada because there's no state income tax. So that would be the perfect place for anyone who wants to retire or make a lot of money and be super cheap at the same time. So I guess really from that perspective, because I'm in California, that's why I'm not the world's cheapest multimillionaire. There we go. Found it.
Some people might think this is a little nasty. Until it's falling apart and rotting, I don't see any reason to throw it away.
It's funny. I actually do the same thing. I never throw out sponges, and it's my girlfriend that's like,
Graham, what is this? This has been sitting here for 2 months. It smells disgusting. There's mold on it. You gotta throw this away. I'm like,
no, don't throw it away. It's wasting money. She just throws it away. And then we get new ones for 50 cents. But still, it was perfectly good sponge.
So the way I got the house is when my ex-husband and I decided to divorce. He's got a good heart, and he insisted that I keep the house because he knew I didn't keep the house, I would move into a hovel of a one-bedroom apartment to save money.
Wow, you know what? I really gotta say, that's a very considerate ex-husband. And to see them on speaking terms and like agreeing to go on TLC together, I don't know if that's couple goals or not, because they're not a couple. Like, obviously there's something wrong here. But that's nice. They both seem like nice, reasonable people.
Amy won't pay anyone to clean her home, so her ex-husband volunteers to do it for free.
What an unusual relationship. Like I said, I want to see a whole reality show on the two of them. Like, what? How do they work this arrangement? Like he's the one he gives it a house. He's obviously cleaning the toilet. How did she find this person?
I'm glad to help her around the house with the cleaning. I do yard work. I drive her to her appointments once in a while.
You know, it sounds a bit like he has some weird sort of fantasies. Now, I want to keep this video PG. So we're not going to go there. We're not going to get in PG-13 or R-rated territory. But, right, like that's some sort of fantasy. That he's very, anyway, let's skip this.
Tuna fish for people, 89 cents. Cat food for cats, 59 cents.
You know what, that's actually pretty funny, and that would be a great way to prank people. Just have them start eating out of a cat food container without realizing it, and then when they're like, what is this? You're feeding me cat food. Then you could say, it's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank. And the funny thing when it comes to this too is that if you have under $1 million, doing something like this is just weird. Like, you're just strange. But once you become a millionaire, then everything you do is just, you're eccentric.
I get income in a variety of ways. One is managing my rental properties. The other is managing my investments in a brokerage fund.
There we go. Real estate investments, rental properties. She manages it herself. No wonder I could relate so well to this right off the bat. I gotta try this whole cat food thing, you know? Maybe there's something to it.
I have regular business trips to LA, so I drive my car.
You know what? I have to say, I agree with her though. If you're going from Las Vegas to Los Angeles, the best thing to possibly do, and the easiest way to travel, is honestly just to drive. Like last week, for the first time ever, me and my girlfriend ended up taking an airplane from Los Angeles to Vegas and back. And at first I thought, oh, this is gonna be so easy. You just pop on an airplane for 45 minutes, you get there, no driving. But it turns out going to an airport is way more of a hassle than just getting in your car at your own pace and your own leisure, driving, taking your time. Like, it takes about the same amount of time if there's no traffic driving. But I have to say, like, just going and driving places is so much easier, so much better than flying.
Yeah, you're just completely bald on there.
Wow.
Along with the tires you need, we got the windshield issue, we got the belt issue. I feel very uncomfortable letting you leave my facility with the car in this shape. You know, you can leave it here for a couple days.
That seems a bit like a scam to me. I have never heard in my entire life that if you take a car to a mechanic, that they could legally say, we're keeping your car, this is unsafe for the road, because honestly, that's maybe a bit subjective. Like, maybe if a police officer or like someone of authority goes and says something like that, then yeah, it's not safe for the road, whatever. But like a mechanic, who's to say he is qualified to say what is safe and unsafe for the road? You know, at that point, I would just say, well, you know what? I'm going to leave my car with you. Now you're going to have to store it for free because I'm not going to pay for storage. Or you let me drive. You let me drive away and I'm not paying you a dime. That's what I would say.
Real reason it needs to stay here. That's just bullshit. For all I know, it's perfectly fine. I don't even know what the flashlight was pointing at.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. There's no way they could legally hold the car hostage unless she goes and pays money. That's extortion, so I agree with her. She's smart. She's a smart lady.
If I get a few different estimates and it's all the same, then I go home and I decide and I run my calculator. Is it really time for a new car? Or do I want to spend $1,000 to fix this?
Here's the thing though, there's cheap and there's also stupid. Like, you should never be driving a car that puts you at risk of either hurting yourself or anyone else around you. So if you're driving with like bald tires, you make a turn too quickly or someone stops in front of you and you slam on your brakes and you don't have the right traction, even if it's not your fault, just you driving a car that's not safe, that isn't really equipped to handle as well as it should, I mean, then she could end up really hurting herself or other people, and that would end up costing way more money. So I would say now we enter the territory of not just being cheap, but being stupid. So never be stupid, just be cheap. Always remember that. And hit the like button.
I'm gonna have my ex-husband come and pick me up, and he's gonna take me to the airport.
Oh, she's got this ex-husband on such a leash. I mean, what happens if the ex-husband ever wants to go and like meet someone else? Or like maybe he just decides to get married again and now he's with his new wife and they have, you know, their perfect little family over here, and then she calls like,
husband, My car is falling apart, and you have to come and pick me up and then clean my toilet.
Like, it's a weird relationship.
Amy has dated pilots in the past, so she knows her way around airports. She'll try to find a pilot that's got an empty plane or something like that, and entice them to give her a ride.
Was he saying that she'll do things in order to get free rides? Is that what this has come to? She now takes the title as the world's cheapest millionaire. I'll let her have this one.
Well, I need to get a flight to LA. I'm desperate to get there today because I have a business trip and I need to get a free flight.
So I gotta say that's really clever. Not only does that take like a 10 out of 10 creativity, but you also gotta be so confident in yourself and your ability to speak to another total stranger and trust them that they're gonna fly you safely in an airplane, that they don't have some like drinking problem or something that like, or they just haven't gotten any sleep for like 4 days because they've been up doing non-cheap things. And then she gets in an airplane with them, but at least you gotta hand it to her. She is being very self-reliant and that is kind of good.
So if you don't mind keeping me some company, I'll take you to Santa Monica.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a code word in there for keep me some company. Just keep me a little company and yeah, I'll get you to LA. Just keep me some company. For sure this is set up though. I mean, let's be real. This is all planned out. This is loosely scripted. There's no way that a whole team of TLC people, there's probably 8 people behind the scenes of this, is just walking around filming her, just doing her thing. Having something like that would waste everyone's time all day if they don't get the shots that they need to. So I will say I'm like 99% sure this is all scripted out. It's not real, but maybe I wouldn't put it past her to actually have gone and done this.
Amy is a millionaire, but she's still a cheapskate.
By the way, I forgot to ask, but can I get a ride home too?
Oh man, she is awesome. That would be one of my goals one day. I would love to be on the show Extreme Cheapskates. Would love to. I think it would be so much fun. I mean, I do a lot of like odd stuff. Nothing crazy like that. Like using grocery store bags as trash bags or putting, little towels over my lights so I don't have to go and like get professional lighting equipment or going and making my own coffee or if I'm at a restaurant somewhere, I can order a normal, just like regular black coffee and then get a cup of ice on the side and then pour it over the ice and then all of a sudden it just becomes iced coffee for half the price. There's a whole bunch of little things that I do, nowhere near this though, but I can learn. But overall I gotta say, you would think for the amount of income that she has, beyond a certain point, I mean, realistically, it just doesn't make sense for her to be this cheap anymore. I mean, you just gotta think, if she's worth over $5 million and she has, I don't know, let's call it $4.5 million invested in the markets and in rental properties, she's gotta be making anywhere from like $200,000 at the very lowest to maybe, I don't know, $450,000 a year at the highest. So after tax, yeah, she would be saving about $200,000 a year. You would think that her time is just way more valuable to not have to go and deal with this and just to spend a little money for some type of creature comforts. It would just start to make sense at that point because then you actually start making more money. Because you have more time, because you're not concerned about this. Like her spending an hour or two at the mechanic shop, that's worth 2 hours of her time. I mean, it's just at a certain point your time starts adding up and you have to do things that cost a little money to then go and save some time to then make more money. I mean, that's how it works. But anyway, overall, I was disappointed originally that I am not the world's cheapest millionaire, but I'll give it to her. You know what? She deserves it. She does a great job at doing this. I'm proud to say that I have watched this video and have learned so much from it. And it's really good to see the full scoop and get the full insights into the world's cheapest millionaire and really see how they think. So I could go and learn from them. And then TLC could basically go and decide to claim my video because I used too many of these clips apparently. So that's probably what's gonna happen. But fingers crossed it doesn't. I'm going to try to be really careful with this. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, if you've not already subscribed, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also, feel free to add me on Instagram. I post it pretty much daily, so if you want to be a part of it there, feel free to add me there. And lastly, if you guys want 2 free stocks, just use the link down below in the description. And the free stock trading app, Webull, is going to be giving you 2 free stocks when you deposit $100 on the platform, with one of those stocks being valued up to $1,400. So if you want a chance to get 2 free stocks, with one of them potentially worth a lot of money, make sure to use that link down below in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time.